Hi, thank you for joining me. I'm Teresa Crawley at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. Today I'm going to show you a 2023 Newmar Essex. I wanted it a little cozy and dim in here to start the video, just so you can see what this is like in the evening time when you're cozying up with your loved ones, maybe watching a movie after dinner. It's such a beautiful atmosphere with the really dim lights. I'm going to close the door also so we can have a little bit better idea how quiet it can be in here. Even if you're parked right out on the interstate as we are right now. So this coach has pretty much everything you could want in a coach. If you're wondering, oh, does this have heated floors? Yes, it does. Does it have a Samsung tablet that you can control everything with? Yes, it does. Does it have powered blinds? Of course. So really, the question is this something that you like? Do you like the look of it? Do you like the feel of it? Would it work for you? So today we're going to look at all the beautiful things that are in the Essex. It's very different from the Newmar other items or other lines that they have. The King Air is a much more modern look, although it is the same horsepower engine. 605 Cummins, they're both equipped with. The London Air has a very different aesthetic as well. So today we're going to focus on this Essex. They have always tried to approach the more traditional market. So this is their traditional line, and you can see that with the way they decorated the ceiling. If you're wondering, this is where all your air conditioning vents are, your intake and your output. But Newmar takes the extra step to make it beautiful as well. There are no plastic vents covering your ceiling as there are in other brands. You'll also notice this cabinetry that's hand polished at the factory. They take great lengths to make very nice, well-made, sturdy, durable, but also beautiful cabinetry. And for those of you who don't know, Newmar is in the heart of Amish and Mennonite country. So these workers that make these take great pride in what they do. And that's just some of what those look like. You'll also notice the corners of the cabinetry are completely seamless. So they take a lot of extra care to not just put two pieces together. There you go. They actually make sure that it looks like a one-piece corner there. So those of you who've done woodworking know that this takes a lot of time and effort to get that done. So just some of the beautiful things about this coach. More to the brass tacks, I guess. We do have theater seating in here, and these have powered footrests and reclines, lights for your cup holder, and then hidden in here we have USB ports as well. So it has everything you need, but what you can't see on the video is how soft and supple this leatherette is. This is manufactured by Villa Furniture, but it feels really nice. And for those of you who've been in other motorhome brands, sometimes they can just feel like plastic and you know they're not going to wear well. This is something you could put in your home and use every day and know that it's going to stand up. So inside of here we of course have little cubbies to keep remote controls and things like that, newspapers, whatever it is you like to do at your seats. And there's way more room down there. Right here you saw me messing with the lighting control, but on that panel we also have controls to a lot of other systems. So lighting, shades, so we can put all the shades down in the coach at one time. If it's nighttime, I can put all the night shades down or up, vice versa. The fans in here, the systems, that one doesn't explain itself very well, but you can turn your water pump on, your generator start or stop. Your TV lift, which you did not see where the TV was earlier, I'll have the camera look in that direction. Now, if you were not wanting to watch TV, you just wanted to look out the beautiful windows, you can put your TV down, but you can also get it to go up with just the push of a button. And then we also have a button that says theater mode. And what that does is it darkens the whole area for you, dims the lights, and puts the TV up all at once. So really nice feature if you want to snuggle in and watch some TV or watch a movie. It really does make a theater atmosphere. Now I don't think that we can video in this lighting, so I'm going to have to put everything back up, but I just wanted you to be able to see how nice that is. So I just reversed theater mode. Oops, there we go. I'm going to get all the blinds to go back up. And those should start going up right now. I might be pushing too many buttons at once, so we are going to need to be a little bit patient here. There we go. Okay, then I'll go back to lighting and get all of our lights back on. So again, cozy day or night. Most time on these videos we only show you the daytime version of these things. So looks like I missed a couple of those shades, so let's get those back up. But there we go. All right, so it's going to get nice and bright here. And I wanted you to have an opportunity to see these windows. They are absolutely amazing. These are windows that don't open, but you get a lot more sunlight in them. They're bonded windows, so you're also going to get a lot less noise while you're traveling down the road. These are something that they took from the King Air line to make the Essex a little bit more high line, and I think they accomplished that goal really well by doing this. You can see all the way around. They're very simple valances. That's a thing that motorhomes have been known for years, is just going way too far with trendy looks. So I'm glad that this one got the memo on the Essex and figured out that we need something that will stand the test of time. And this certainly will. It's absolutely beautiful. Now all the surfaces in this motorhome you'll notice are Corian. So these are a solid surface countertop and table. And they do hand make those at the factory as well, laser cut to fit each individual coach. This is actually special because they changed it this year to enable a lot more seating. So this pulls out quite far, and then we have some extra leaves in the back and extra chairs as well. This booth is very comfortable, very nice to sit at and visit, have your breakfast, or just hang out while you're going down the road. They also included a little bit of storage on both sides of this booth. So directly across, we're entering the kitchen area. You'll see more beautiful cabinetry, but they're not just pretty, they are functional. So this is a cabinet that I would struggle with reaching the back of because I'm not particularly tall, but they added these shelves so that I can get to the very back of what I've stored in here on both sides. So really nice feature. And then over here, we have a double stainless steel sink. Really good sized here, and really beautiful upgraded faucet with sprayer function there. Little place for your sponges and things. And a little bit over here, you could even fit a little trash receptacle there. But this is probably where you're going to want to keep it. And this has a built-in trash receptacle, plenty of room for a recycle, also a pull-out for your cleaning supplies. So really well thought out and really well made for that matter. Moving over, we have a Bosch convection microwave oven. It's a really good size in here. And then an induction cooktop. Now those of you who are familiar with the Newmar line, most of their diesel line has a removable cooktop. This is not going to be removable, it's just far too large for that. They did still put the cutting boards on the opposite side of the covers, which is just so handy. And then you have this really large Bosch induction cooktop. So you have a really big place for a really large pan there, and then 2 other spots there as well. Don't get overwhelmed by all the remote controls. We'll teach you how to use everything, and a lot of them are redundant as well. But this is a really nice silverware cabinet that they've built in for you. You might notice that these are dovetail and soft close as well. So, this is actually not a cabinet at all. This is your dishwasher, and they hid it by putting a really sleek wood piece to match the rest on there. And then we have 3 of these pull-outs that come all the way out, and then a bigger one at the very bottom. I have to say, I really like the handles that they chose on these. They're very easy to grab. Sometimes fashion wins over function in motorhomes or in life in general, but these are very easy to use and very easy to grab. So just a little side note, it's the little things that living in this, it makes a big difference. So one more cabinet in here. And they do line these really well to help with vibration and noise going down the road. So just another touch Newmar does. They really overbuild these motorhomes so that in 10 years, it's still in as good a shape as it was when you bought it. They do everything they can structurally in the things that you can't see, in the walls, in the insulation, and in the structure of the chassis to make sure that it's a very sturdy motorhome through the years. I'm going to get a little bit more lighting on here, and then we can see a little bit more of what's going on in the kitchen area. I'm just going to turn every light on. So, okay, really large Bosch refrigerator here. And something that we don't see in motorhomes is the ice coming out of the door. A lot of times you have to open the freezer to get that ice. This one does have the cubed or crushed ice as well as water in the door. So I'm really glad that they figured out a way to fit this in here. Of course, it always has to do with the structure of the motorhome. What can fit there? What can it support, and things like that. So there's the inside of that beautiful refrigerator. Stainless steel, and it lights up really nice when you open it. And here's your freezer compartment. There we go. Nice cold manuals in there. And then this does have a central vacuum, and this is where you would put those hoses in there to use more like a traditional vacuum. Now here is your half bath. I'm going to get in there and just get the lights on and the cabinets open, and then I'll have our camera guy come in behind me to get a better view of it. Another thing that this motorhome has is mirror lights. So the mirrors themselves actually light up. So that's a really nice thing if you're trying to put makeup on or something. I don't think I need to remind you, this isn't really a camper. This is a home on wheels. So if for those of you who are saying, oh, I don't put makeup on when I camp, well, you might when you're living in it full time. So that's why I say those things. But I'm going to open some of this up for you, and then I'll have to probably get out of the way. But we've got a good sized drawer here. Storage place down there, probably for toilet paper and things like that. And another storage place down here. There is a medicine cabinet that's really good size. You're not going to be able to see it from this angle, but I will get out of the way, I promise. And then up here, this is where we have your power boxes, your breaker box. Really nice because it's out of the way of children, but it's also really easy for you to see what's going on. You don't have to go outside and pop your breakers or anything like that. There is a fantastic fan in here, which sucks the air out really quickly, cools it down, gets steam out, things like that. And it's very efficient. So I'll step out and let you take a look at that. Ample size for your knees when you're sitting down as well. This is a great place if you have guests for them to use this bathroom rather than going into your private bathroom area. Some people, this is the husband's area where they can do their shaving. And sometimes they only use it when the slides are all in and they can't get to the back ones. So there's a lot of reasons why there's an extra half bath here. One thing I failed to show you before is there's also a kick plate for that vacuum system. So if you were to sweep or have a pile of debris, you can just kick this up and it will suck the debris right away. So that's really nice too. Going into the master area, I'm going to show you that we have pocket doors, and they didn't skimp on these. Both sides of these are really beautifully made. We have a really nice mirror here that's not going to be obnoxious. Some people get really upset when there's mirrors in motorhomes everywhere, and I understand that because it can be kind of tacky looking, but they've frosted these to make them a little more subtle for you. The other side of the mirror, of the door is just a door. There's not a mirror on the back side, so that's probably going to give you some comfort as well, that it's not everywhere. So, master bedroom. This is a king size bed. We do have on either side of the bed charging ports for your cell phones. So if you just set your cell phone there, it will immediately start charging for you. There's one on either side. Then we also have some storage up above. Newmar always makes this upper storage so that you can put tubing or cords in here. So if you had a sleep apnea machine or whatever it is that you have that you want to keep up here, you can plug it in back here, and then there's actually a port right here for you to put that tubing through or cording through. We of course have reading lights on both sides. We have blinds on both sides. And there is a control up here so you can turn off the lights and shades at that location as well. Underneath the bed, just to be very thorough, we do have a good storage space. Very easy for me to lift up because it's on these hydraulic shocks. Those are those fold-up chairs I was telling you about that match the decor of the living area, and the two leaves that fit into that table. So there are two of these. They don't look pretty because they're wrapped up right now, but you can see, I'd say they're about 10 inches each. So you get another about 20 inches if you choose to. And then this goes down just as easily as it went up. Directly across, we of course have another flat screen 4K Samsung LED TV. This is where they have intended for you to put your audio-visual equipment. That's why there's all the plugins back there and things, HDMI cables, etc. And this side is just a choose your own adventure. Then we have a 6-drawer dresser built in here, and these are full extension. So 6 of these good size drawers. Moving back, another pocket door that I promised you for more privacy in this area. And the back of this one does have a full-length mirror. So if you were getting dressed for something, you would know that you had your pants tucked in and everything like that. So I'm going to get all these lights on in here again. One of the first things you're going to notice is this ginormous shower back here. So Newmar does a great job with their showers. They really have worked hard to get away from small, confining, or rounded corner showers for that matter. This year they have eliminated them completely. But you can see we have a really nice fold down shower seat. So if you needed to sit down, shave your legs, whatever it was that you needed there, this is a great spot for that, but it also can fold away when you don't need it. One of the first things I noticed is this brass inlay on these tiles, and this is all real tile here. This is just beautiful. So it gives it a little bit of a fun element in this bathroom, and it also brings out the brass that they've added here on these faucets and things like that. So stainless steel with some brass. This little button here is your water miser system. So what that does is it recycles the water until it's warm enough to come out. So you're not just letting it go down the drain. Super smart idea, especially when you're boondocking. So we do have handheld sprayer, a handle here, and then they started including shampoo, conditioner, body wash. But with this vaulted ceiling in here, this is such a spacious bathroom, great area, especially if you are spending a good amount of time in here. Again, not really a camper. This is very luxurious. So 2 basins, so you don't have to fight over who gets to wash their face first. You also both get a really good size medicine cabinet. These are also carpet lined to help with that vibration I was talking about earlier. And then there are 110 outlets in the back there. You each get your own towel holder, excuse me. And a little place here. Again, choose your own adventure. I don't know what you want to put in there, maybe some Q-tips. Down here, again, lighted storage. And this is going to be on both sides. They reflect each other exactly, so. And then we have 3 of this size. So this one is honestly pretty shallow. I would think toothbrushes and makeup brushes, things like that can go in there quite easily. And then you have this one on the bottom that's a little bit deeper. So not quite my whole hand, but that's there. Another medicine cabinet here. And I don't know if you could see it, but there is a little bit of backlighting behind these mirrors, which just is a lovely touch. It doesn't give you a ton of light, but it just is very, very beautiful, and it really sets those mirrors off really nicely. So glad that they did that. So here is obviously your rear wardrobe, but there is a little bit of a surprise in here. Come and take a good look here. We of course have cedar lined, as Essex always has. Really nice shelving there. And a safe. So those are pretty standard in the Essex line. This side is where I was a little surprised to see what they had done this year. This is totally new. So this pulls out this way. Great place to store handbags, sweaters, etc. This is a good place for your shoes. And again, they've never done this before, so I was really happy to see some more options for storage. And then there are 2 pull-out drawers down here as well. And on the other side, I'm going to say in most families, this is going to be the husband's part of the closet, unfortunately. So he gets these 2 rods to hang his shirts. And that's it. No, I'm just kidding. You all work that out on your own, but that's what I hear from customers all the time. So behind the toilet here, we have an emergency exit door. I'm just thrilled that Newmar did this. You've probably seen it a million times if you've seen any of our videos. But in a emergency situation, this is going to be a lifesaver, literally. So the door opens just quite easily. And then if you pull this panel out, there is a ladder tucked in there as well. And when you release that Velcro, it's literally going to drop to the ground and you're going to be able to climb out to safety really easily. So love that they did this. And it's insulated just as well as everything else in this coach. So not going to be leaking air or making noise either, but just so glad that they did that for safety. I've just seen, you know, some stories and heard some things that, you know, I just glad they think it's a thing that this isn't selling aesthetically necessarily. This is something that they thought of to help out their customers because they care. So I just am glad that they did that. Real quick, we have your washer and dryer in here, and this does open up fully, so that's nice. They did put a 220 dryer in here, so that's going to work a little bit better for you. Actually, this is the dryer, I'm sorry. But washing and then the dryer is on a 220, so a good thing there. And then there's a little drawer down here that you can keep your fabric softeners or dryer balls, whatever it is you have there. So that's about it for the inside of the coach. I'm going to start closing things up, and then we can check out the driving area, which is also very luxurious. This coach does have porcelain tile floors throughout, no carpet that you can see. There is a tiny square behind the bed, but that's not something you're going to really be accessing. So even on the slide outs themselves, you have tile there. I'm going to go to the front here and get these slides in. They are up here in this front cabinet, and we'll walk through this front cabinet a little bit too. We do have solar panels on this coach, 4 of them, and that's what the white panel there is, the solar panel charger. We also have Wi-Fi and satellite dishes on here. We have Girard Nova awnings that we'll see when we go outside, but we also have window awnings all the way around the coach. All right, let's get these all in. We also have a security system here, so there are cameras all around the perimeter of the coach that you can see on a screen inside the coach. Real quick, I'll walk back for you just so you can see how much room there is. So I can easily cook here. Definitely able to get into the refrigerator. Both sides can open fully here. And even the freezer, and of course into this bathroom, which if you hadn't noticed before, the door is on a middle pivot. So that is what helps make you able to get into this bathroom a little bit easier. So this is a Newmar thing. I love that they do this, but it really makes it so you can get in there really easily. So back to the cab. I love though that you can get through here really easily when it's closed up. That means that your travelers, whoever's coming with you, can be very comfortable and not confined while they're here. So up in the front cab area, ooh, first thing I'm going to tell you about is this seat has a massager on it, and it's on right now. It's always kind of a surprise when you're not prepared for it. But we have heated and massage seats, and they are powered every way that you can imagine. Lumbar, it will dip forward and go back, and the back will go back. And then we also have memory on these seats, or on the driver's seat, excuse me, as well. So if I'm driving, I'm number 1, my husband's number 2, number 3 might be, I need to be able to get out of here, and it'll go all the way back for you. So that's another thing that there is on here. We do have the HWH computerized levelers. So those are your hydraulic electric jacks that come down. But we also have a Hadley air ride system. So that's going to do air leveling for you as well if you choose that. That one is integrated into the chassis, so I'll show you that when we get into the monitor. Of course, your Allison transmission is right here. You have a toll window that's powered here. Then we have your tag dump if you needed that. So we do have a steerable tag on this. I don't think I'd mentioned that yet, but we are in a 45-foot long coach. You really do need a tag to make the ride better. And to be able to carry more weight, be able to tow that 20,000 pounds. We also have an engine brake on, off, and then a high, medium, low. Powered mirrors, heated mirrors. These are your headlight options, and you do have the option of automatic headlights, so you're not trying to look away if you're about to get your brights in someone's eyes. It'll do it for you. And we do have an air horn on and off here as well. I'm going to start the coach up so you can hear it and see some of the things on this front monitor. Let's see. I'm going to move myself up a little bit because I'm a little bit short. So we do have adjustable steering wheel. We have adjustable pedals on here. We can do all of those things just with the push of our fingers. The pedals are going further, now they're getting closer, and I'm going to put this steering wheel down a little further for myself, just because that's more comfortable for me. We do have adaptive cruise control on here. So we also have collision mitigation. We have a mobile eye system that's going to warn you if you are too close to the car in front of you. This has every safety feature, I believe, that's been invented at this point. So collision mitigation as well as alerts. So let's see where I can show you here. So on this front dash panel, Spartin has made it so you can configure this however you want. You can change the color, you can change what the main things are that you're looking at. So you can go in and change all of those things. Right now we have the tire pressure monitoring system up right now. And now I'm going to go to, there's your adaptive cruise, your info. There's all kinds of funny things in here. Oops, sorry. Engine load. Okay, so then your trip, of course, you can check different things on there. Settings. This one is probably number one to me, that you can adjust your steering wheel pressure, I'm going to call it. So Comfort Drive, if you're not familiar with it, it's the most game-changing thing in motorhomes that there is. Comfort Drive takes the pressure off of the steering wheel, that when it's windy or the road is trying to drive for you, it's going to keep you centered. So it's going to make it much, much easier to get through the day driving all day long. What it comes down to is a much more relaxing, comfortable experience, but it really is a safety feature as well, that it keeps you straight, keeps you in the middle of the road. If you haven't experienced Comfort Drive steering, I highly recommend you come in and test drive the unit, because it makes a world of difference. And it's on the Newmar models, from Ventana to King Air. It's just awesome. So highly recommend. It's harder to describe than it is to show. So I hope that you will come in and experience that with me. This is just the brightness of the screen. And then we do have the air leveling system that I was telling you about. So air leveling actually works when you are traveling. So it's actually going to keep the coach, say the road is this way, it's going to keep you up. And that's just with your airbags. They're using your airbags to keep you level. Lower end coaches are not going to have that. They do have airbags, and you are going to be on the airbags, and it's going to make a big difference in the ride quality. This is actually leveling as well as helping with ride quality. So it's 2-in-1, and it's only on the really high end coaches, and this is one of them. So you can adjust that high ride, low ride, etc. So back to home. This here is your CURT Spectrum brake controller, and that has to do with what you're towing. So you are already prepped to have, if it's a stacker trailer or a large trailer behind you, or if it's just a car on a dolly, or if you're flat towing, this is set up for you to have your braking system ready on this coach. So this is just going to control the distance that it's going to brake that unit back there as well. So super nice to have that integrated already. It's kind of expensive to do it aftermarket. Right here we have a battery boost. So if your chassis battery was low for some reason, you can borrow from your house batteries and get yourself jump started. You can have your heavy tow on or off. Front fans, high, low, medium, and overhead fans. So those are in the older or lower end motorhomes. You would see the big metal fan on the front windshield. That's what that is, but it's without the big metal fan. It's basically a defrost feature, but it also works really well if you're just hot, and it'll just blow air on you. So high, medium, low. Docking lights, courtesy lights. Your generator can start here as well. And then your entry lock for that door. We of course have powered visors and shades throughout this coach, or excuse me, throughout the front area as well. So these are the same day and night versions that we had throughout the back of the coach. They won't let me put them down very low when the engine is going, and that's a safety guard in case you had someone with you, or you even hit the wrong button. You're still going to be able to drive when those are deployed. So it only lets you go about halfway when your engine is running, but at nighttime you definitely can put those down if you're parked. So here is your navigation screen, your camera. You can choose your camera choices. We also have Apple CarPlay, of course, XM radio capability, but this is where you're going to control cameras. So you've got front view, side view, from your there in your mirrors, your side view mirrors, and then you also have a mirror, or excuse me, a camera on the side of the coach itself. That's your rear view. And you can choose if you want to be looking at your trailer or the ground or whatever view you want of that. But it also will give you a 360-degree view. So that just populated in this screen over here, where it looks like there's a drone flying above us. And it will do that all the way down the road, where I can see if there is someone right there that is trying to merge on me, or if there's a child that I need to be aware of or something like that. So these cameras are amazing and such a great addition to the safety of driving a 45-foot long bus. So I'm going to get this engine off. Our generator is running right now, if you hear that purr. But we're going to go outside and see some of the amenities there. For those of you curious, this is a queen seat, they call it, meaning it's a little bit wider of a seat for the passenger. It does have the massage and the heat. It also has a little tray table that they can use while you're going down the road. But there also is an electric step cover that comes out here, and it basically just makes the floor totally flat. You can stand on it, you can walk on it. You don't have to worry about your dog slipping down the stairs when you're in travel mode. So that's really nice. Another thing that Newmar does, besides having a really stout door and screen door, they actually make the screen optional. So when you're going down the road, you don't have this screen blurring your vision here. So I love that they do that, because it really does make a difference in the experience as well as the safety of the ride. So coming outside, you notice these really nice steps. These are hydraulic steps. And right now they're not down very low, but that is very changeable. So when the door closes, it will automatically go up if I don't have the setting set off. Right now I have it turned off. But the steps can come all the way down to the bottom, and that's really great for people who have a harder time with stairs and have a harder time walking. So it's really nice that it does that. But the other thing that it does is it stops when it hits something. So if it hits your leg or it hits a curb, it's going to stop, and it's not going to ruin your steps. It's going to protect itself, which I think is so great. You might have noticed these beautiful awnings I was talking about. These are the Girard Nova awnings. We of course have slide toppers. That's just a given on this nice of a coach. But we also do have window awnings. So the awning here that you can see with the LED lights, that's going to come out, and I'll point out some of the others as we go around the coach as well. So we do have dual fill fuel on this coach. We also have dual fill DEF on this coach. So you can go from both sides at the same time. It will fill the same tank, and you'll spend less time waiting at the gas station. Docking lights. This is something that was borrowed from the King Air, these doors that open really easily. And again, if you have a hard time with your fingers, if you have arthritis or anything like that, these are so easy to open and close. So just another side note. Of course, this is your programmable fridge freezer, and it does pull out really far. But you can choose the temperature that you want each of these at. If you want this full of beverages, you can make it all that cool temperature. But if you want it all to be a freezer, you can do that too. Or you can do them separately, different temperatures. So Newmar also started adding a shelf above here so that you're not wasting all of this head space that's here. In previous years, there would be nothing above the freezer, and it would just be a waste of space, basically. So watch how easy this is to close. It just pulled itself in, so super easy. This is one of our 3 powered storage trays. There are 2 full-length ones, meaning they go all the way from this side of the coach to the driver's side of the coach. They only come out about 60% on either side, but it's ample room for you to be able to get to the things in the middle of the tray. And also, you're not having to bend over and mess with it. This is just powered very, very easy to do. They're also carpeted to help with that vibration and noise. Now, you're not going to hear road noise in this coach anyway because it's very well insulated and very well built structurally, but we don't want your things flying around on you either. So another Samsung flat screen 4K LED TV. We also have a Bose sound bar down here. You can Bluetooth music there or watch a movie outside. Here is another of the full-length storage trays. They did include some extra of the porcelain tiles. In case you were to break one throughout the years, you'll make sure it's a perfect match. And I'm not going to pull this one all the way out. You know what it does, but just know it'll come out about 60%. You also have a good view right now of the Star Foundation, and that is what Newmar adds to the chassis. So every manufacturer is getting the same chassis from the manufacturer. This is a Spartin Chassis. So what they do is they weld on these extra beams, and that helps with bend and twist going down the road. That's going to help your motorhomes to stay in great shape. It's not going to pop your tiles. It's not going to weaken the integrity of your cabinetry and things like that. So really nice that they do that. That's one of those Newmar likes to overbuild, even though that's not something that made it prettier and made you go, ooh, I want to buy it. In 10 years, you'll say, I'm ready to buy another Newmar though. Okay, another tray, but this one is only a partial tray and it is not powered. So this one, because there are other things on the other side of the coach, this one is actually a manual tray. It is carrying your vacuum components right now, and this right here is your vacuum. So this is where you're going to take out the filter and clean that out, but you also can connect your hose here and vacuum out your basement area. And this paint is so pretty in the sun. It's like a perfect bronzy coppery color. Very nice. Okay, so what are they thinking here? Well, there's a very large water tank back there that took up all of this storage space. So they decided to make it a tool cabinet for you / area to put extra fluids. So if you need some windshield washer fluid on the road or some DEF to bring with you, that's a great place to store it. This is your steerable tag axle. And of course, really good Michelin tires. They're 22.5s. So good size. That's really going to help with your ride quality. This is your DEF tank. And as I said before, you can fill that from either side of the coach. For those of you who are curious about these powered doors, if they were to fail, yes, there is a way to get them open. So don't worry about that. There is a manual override for that. This is just your chassis starting batteries. Your battery disconnects here. They look different on a Spartin than they do on other brands. Your air dryer system here. But it's really nice that you can access these really easily on this coach. Once again, we have a 605 Cummins. This is a K3 Spartin chassis, and engine access is very easy on this coach. So there's your big, beautiful engine. I love the red. But you can also check your oil and your filters back here very easily because they're all right within reach. You also have your Oasis hydronic heating system fluid there. And we'll get to that in just a few minutes when we get to the system, but I just wanted you to see how easy it was to access. We do have a 20,000 pound towing hitch, and it is set up for towing already. So you've got your braking system in there already. Now this is a little tall for me. I don't know if I can get it. Oh yeah. Okay. So I wanted you to be able to see the backup camera. It's right there. And then all of these exterior lights are going to be LED as well. Side radiator, of course. And this is that emergency exit door that I showed you earlier. So you can see it's really not that far to the ground. If you didn't have time for your ladder or something like that, you could still jump. This is the other side of that DEF tank I was telling you about. So just another convenient thing. Now up here, this little place is to put your black hose to keep it sanitary and away from all of your other items. It does have a little holes in the back there. I don't know if you can see it, but they did that so you can rinse it out and keep it really clean in there. But just what a great idea for a place to put your hoses. Here's one of those window awnings that I promised to show you. And we have another one at the very front of the coach as well. So when you're not in a place that you need to put out your full awnings, or you don't want to, just having the sun coming through this one area, you can just do that really easily. Push of a button, of course, and keep the sun out. Now this is a beautiful water bay. And why would I say that for those of you who don't own motorhomes? Most of these are plastic and they're covered in stickers. This is stainless steel and it's etched. So even in 10, 20 years, you're still going to be able to read what you're supposed to be doing and using all of these buttons for. We do have a power rewind water hose. We have a whole house water filtration system, an outside shower. This is your macerator system. So for those of you who don't know, that's basically a sewage blender, but it also pumps uphill if you need it to. This coach also has a tilt function to help get the water out or whatever out easier. So that's really nice too. Oh, and a paper towel holder, very important. Just love how those suck right in. You don't have to mess with them. So here's your 50-foot, 50 amp cord for plugging in. And it's also on a power rewind reel. Very easy, especially when it's wet and dirty or cold outside. You don't have to mess with it. So here is your Oasis Chinook hydronic heating system. So this is going to provide a moist heat to your coach. It's going to operate as your furnace. It's also going to be your water heating system. So really nice feature. As much water as you have, you will have hot water if you choose it to be. Here's the opposite side of one of the powered trays. And then we've got another one here that's just the opposite side of that powered tray. And then this is something to really get excited about. We've got 2 Lithionics batteries in here and 2 3,000 watt inverters. So you are going to have so much power coming to this coach. You really don't need to worry about being off grid. You can add a 3rd battery. I like to tell people, take the coach as it is, see if it's enough for you, which I'm betting it will be. And if you feel the need later to add another one, go for it. But don't go overboard, because they are doing, Newmar really does build these with the customer in mind and with all the things that they're going to be doing with it in mind, where they're going to be parked and how they're going to be using it. Here's the other side of your diesel fill. And up here, more power. And also the switch for your generator tray. So this is on a powered extend. It doesn't want to go. I need to turn the ignition off. Oh, on. Okay, sorry about that, but I'm glad that I stepped away, because I got my spec sheet here and I have failed to mention a few other things. So this is a hydraulic slide out for your generator. And the reason that they're doing this is so you're able to service it easier. This is a 12.5 Cummins Onan quiet diesel generator. And you also have some other fills and your washer fluid down there, your air horns. You have a hot water line to that generator that's going to help you to melt the bugs off your front end, or your windshield rather, I should say. So you know what I'm talking about. All right, so a few things that I forgot to mention. We have three 15,000 Penguin air conditioning units with heat pumps. We do have heated floors in this coach. Blind spot detection, mobile eye lane tracking, lane departure warning system, on-guard collision mitigation with adaptive cruise, auto changeover on this 12.5 generator, touchscreen navigation, and I think I got everything else, but you know, I'm human and these are live, so I'd love for you to reach out if you need more details. My name is Teresa Crawley. I thank you for sitting through this and watching with me, but please ask for me by name when you call or email me at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your summer.